When you said all right, I thought you were going to say, I didn't see you. Sorry. Hey, everybody. How are you? So do you remember our story? What do you do with a problem? Problems are really hard, aren't they? That's why they're called a problem. But the good thing about a problem is that it presents an opportunity and a challenge to do something great. And so that's what we're gonna do today. When I feel like I have a problem, I always feel like a rainy day, like there's a big gray cloud above my head when I have a problem. How do you feel when you have a problem?
Same thing.
Same thing? How do you feel when you have a problem?
Well, when I have a problem, I usually think about it all the time.
Yeah, it's hard to get out of your head, huh? When you have a problem and you think it's a big gray cloud above your head, I want you to think about this recipe because you'll see the opportunity for something cloudy and icky to become something of a challenge and a great thing. So I want you to make sure you have your recipe. I want you to have all your ingredients. So what are the ingredients we need? Some
1.5 cup vanilla pudding mix.
Good, got it.
We need 1.5 cups of milk.
Milk, do we have milk?
Mm-hmm.
Got it. 15 Oreos. Got them. Good. What else do we need?
We need 1 8-ounce container of whipped topping, like Cool Whip.
Do we have that? Right there. And the last thing we're going to need?
Chocolate pudding mix.
Love chocolate. And we've got it. Yay! So, something that we like to do before we actually start cooking is to measure out all of our ingredients, which we've done. So we're going to move these out of the way because we don't need these. Can you bring those over there? Thank you. We will be needing this. We'll be eating these later. Here is our pre-measured chocolate pudding mix. Here is our pre-measured vanilla, oopsie, it's fallen out, pudding mix. And here are our pre-measured Oreo cookies. I need one too, okay? I put them all in different baggies and you'll see why later. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is in a medium bowl, we're going to combine the pudding and the milk. So here's our milk already measured out and it says whisk well. What I mean by whisk is, you see this guy right here? That guy? That's a whisk. This is a small whisk. I like using a small whisk for a small amount so it doesn't get anywhere. And what this does is it mixes it not only in one spot, but in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different spots all at once. And so it makes mixing and mixing liquids with powder a lot easier. So here you go. Brielle, why don't you, since it's already measured out, can you combine our pudding mix and milk? All right, good.
Yellow.
What color is it turning?
Yellow.
Yellow. So you want to mix it really, really well so that it's all one color. You don't want bright yellow over here and white over here. It's got to all be mixed in real well. How's that looking, Shannon? Is it combined well? All right. It says to refrigerate for 10 minutes. Would you please put that in the refrigerator? All right. Wow, that was a quick 10 minutes. Look at that. It's already ready. Now what we're going to do, this is the fun part. I'm going to set this to the side because this is in the, our pudding is setting up in the refrigerator. It's going to look a little weird like that, okay, when it comes out of the refrigerator. But until then, in the meantime, what you're going to do is you're going to take your Oreos and you're going to close, we put them in a baggie. You're going to close that baggie real well and try and get as much air out of it as possible. And then here's the fun part. Go ahead, pick your device. You're going to smash it. There you go. And you're done. It's going to be a little bit chunky. So if you have big chunks in there like this, that's okay. But the recipe works much better if you can get them as tiny as you can. So you can keep smashing them, or what we did to get ours really fine, these are already finished. See how fine those are? It's like almost like powder. I put that in a food processor. If you have a food processor, you can do that instead of smashing it, but you don't have to. You can always just smash it as little as you can possibly get. But be careful because almost 100% of the time, the bag breaks. So you have to do it on a... Oh yes, and be careful you don't smash your fingers. You can always just use your hands too, because that's fun too. Okay. Yeah. So then what you're gonna do is you're gonna, after the 10 minutes, you're gonna pull out your pudding mix, and it should be all set up like this. And then you're going to, why don't you do the pouring this time? Ambrielle, you get the whisk this time. Okay, notice how Shannon's not just putting it in one spot. She's trying to sprinkle it kind of all over the bowl, so it makes it a little easier for mixing. Whoa, look at how clumpy it gets. You want to hold up your whisk? Look at that. So an easy way to start this off is to kind of mash all of those pieces in there. You take your whisk and make little tiny circles like that. See, like this, just with your fingers, like you're drawing circles on a piece of paper. It mixes it much easier. See? Yeah. And then you do little circles and big circles and little circles and big circles. See? Yeah, there you go. Just with your fingers. Yep, like you're drawing. Because we have a small whisk, it's easier to do that. If you have a bigger whisk, you can do the same thing. And with if your hands are smaller, it might be easier, instead of holding the whisk like this, it might be easier for you to hold the whisk like this and whisk it like this with your arm. Is that a little easier for you?
Yeah.
We know it's good if it's all mixed in. Does that look completely mixed in? Mm-hmm. You might not be able to see it, but there's a little bit of yellow over here and some crumbs over here. So I'm just gonna real quick mix it up. Now, does that look like we have a problem? That looks a little bit icky, doesn't it? Well, we'll see what happens. So then you're going to go ahead and try and get as much as you can off of here. We're gonna fold in your whipped topping and the chocolate pudding mix until well combined. And then you're gonna refrigerate it for 1 hour. So we've already measured out our chocolate pudding mix, and we're gonna sprinkle that all in there. Go ahead. You can put this in there, but we're not gonna mix it because I'm gonna show you a little technique called folding. You're going to need a spatula, a rubber spatula. Ooh, she scraped it on the side of the bowl. Fancy. Okay, so what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your rubber spatula, and if you were to just kind of mix it up, what would happen? Do you see how fluffy this stuff is? This is our opportunity to make this problem ickiness a really good thing. And so we want to do what's right. So we don't want to smash all this fluffiness, because if you smash all of the little tiny air pockets that are inside all of this fluffy white stuff, it's gonna pop all those little tiny bubbles, and then look, it's not gonna be fluffy and white anymore. It's just gonna be smashed white stuff. So what we want to do is we want to do a process that's called folding. And folding is combining two different things and allowing the air to stay inside to make it fluffy still. So what you do is you're just going to scrape, and this takes a little while. So you're just going to scrape it, and you're going to make like a big circle. Can you do that? Grab your spatula, and the way I'm turning it is I'm going down with my hand, over, and then instead of going all the way, oh no, I can't go around anymore. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna go on the side of the bowl. I'm gonna scrape the side of the bowl, come down, and once I get right there to about the middle, instead of twisting my elbow around and getting uncomfy, I'm going to twist the spatula with my finger and come all the way to the top. Here I go. I'm gonna scrape the side, up, around, and down. Doesn't look like I mixed it very much, does it? But the more I do that, and I can go in the middle of it, to the sides of it, all around the side of the bowl. If you want to turn the bowl a little bit, and then do it, and turn it again, and do it again. Now look what's happening. Do you see? What's happening, Brielle? Can you tell me?
It's mixing.
It is mixing, but is all the fluffiness staying there?
Yeah.
it is staying there. If I were to mix it like I would normally, just like this, it would turn it into more of a liquid instead of a fluff. And what you want is the fluff. Can you go ahead and start folding that in? Thank you. Once you're done folding it in, and it's all one color, you don't want streaks of white in there and you don't want streaks of black. It should all be gray, like a gray rain cloud. You're gonna put it in the refrigerator, actually, and you're gonna let it just sit in the refrigerator for a whole hour. What we do before we put it in the refrigerator, it doesn't say here, it says to do it after. I found that it's a little easier if you just put it in a Ziploc baggie. When you're all finished, instead of putting it in the bowl, it makes it a little bit easier. See, I'm folding it over, and then I fold it over again, and then it should sit up a little straight as she puts it in there. You go ahead and do that. And then she's gonna put that in the fridge, and we're gonna leave it in the fridge for 1 hour. And then it's gonna look like this. See? It's gonna look, see how I said I put Journey on there? And so I can make sure that nobody ate it in my fridge. Then what you're gonna do, it's ready to serve. You're gonna take a fancy plate or a regular plate, or what else? Probably not a napkin, that wouldn't work. Which one would you like, Brielle?
This one.
You want this one? All right.
Please.
All right, I'll take this one.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And that one will be for you. Okay? You're going to take your bag and you're going to take a pair of scissors. If you don't feel comfortable using a pair of scissors, you can always ask your adult helper. And I want you to see. Can you see this? See that little corner right there? You're just going to whoop. Then you're going to hold where that hole is, and you're going to squish your bag together, and you're going to make your gray problem cloud. Just like this. You just put a little swirl. I'm going to make a little swirl and all the way around. Look at that. I've got a problem cloud. Go right ahead. And in fact, if you wanted to, you could make whatever design you really wanted. Brielle, why don't you grab us 3 spoons so we can have a bite? Okay. What do you say? See? And there it is. Look at that. See, I didn't mix in the Cool Whip as well as I should have, so I have a white little cloud, but that's okay because it's an opportunity to do it better next time. That big problem that we had, remember that big black colored grayish mess? Now is turned into a very, very big cloud. Let's see if we can taste the opportunity for good things in all the hard stuff. Oh my goodness, that's really good. So I hope you guys, I know it's been hard, but I hope that you guys will see that even though we can't be together in person, that we have the opportunity to learn really great things and to do wonderful things and have a great perspective, because when this is all over, we get to see each other again. And until then, have fun eating these opportunities.